Happy Pokemon Day, guys! I hope you are having a good one. But we are not just celebrating one occasion, we are also celebrating the 3.5-year anniversary of Pokemon Masters EX tomorrow. And in this video, we are going to see who among the 4 anniversary units we are going to scout who are worth your gems or who you should skip. So, strap on your seatbelts, sit tight, and let us begin this Who to Scout For video. Let's do this! Yo, 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 this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt. Yeah, this Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX, guys, where we discuss who among the anniversary sync pairs are worth your gems. So, before we begin, guys, if you are looking forward to just getting one copy, you do not need to watch this video. In fact, you can just watch my 1 out of 5 or none out of 5 video instead, but you know, feel free to watch both. In this video, we're going to discuss each one in depth. So if you're planning to get more than one copy, if you're planning to just get one copy and then use candies to level them up, or in the future maybe power them up in some other way or something like that, then this is the video for you. So with that said, as we begin, do not forget to hit the thumbs up right now, as this video takes quite a long time to do, and it really helps the channel out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and sharing this to other people through the YouTube recommendations and stuff. So help me out by clicking on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, guys, 54.9% of you are not yet subscribed. So why not subscribe right now? Click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the bell button as well, and make sure you have your notifications set to all so that you do not miss any of my videos. Last but not the least, share this with your friends, as well as tell me in the comment section who among these sync pairs you are aiming for. And with that said, guys, I would like to give a huge shout out to all the members of my channel, especially my 2-year members highlighted in red, my 1-year members highlighted in yellow, and all my other members. Thank you so much for your support. A huge shout out as well goes to my gifters who have showered these people, other people with memberships. So if you want to become a member and do not have the means to do so, you can just become active in the channel, and whenever any of my members feel generous, they might just shower random people with memberships, and YouTube chooses the most active people to give these memberships to. So go ahead, be active, and maybe if you have the funds to do so and want to help me out, support a good cause by clicking on the join button and become a member of my channel for as low as $1 a month. But aside from that, let us begin. So this is the timeline as we begin with these sync pairs. As you might know, Anniversary Marnie comes first, or rather, well, technically Anniversary Marnie, but Champion Marnie comes out first, followed by Champion Hop, followed by Champion Bede, followed by Ball Guy, who I will hide my face so that you can see Ball Guy's dates, March 21 to April 6. Meanwhile, all the others end on April 8, and these are all limited units. The good thing is, Hop and Bede do not have alternate outfits yet. So these are their first alternate outfits. Ball Guy is a debut character in Pokemon Masters. The sad thing is, Ball Guy is not free, and Ball Guy is also not permanent. He is a variety scout. Variety scouts are technically spotlight scouts. Well, we do not exactly know because this is the second variety scout. And the way this time, the variety scout this time worked compared to the previous time we had a variety scout was completely different. So I do not know if they are gonna change it in the future. But technically, he shares spotlight scout rates. He shares spotlight scout benefits. That means 3 multi-pulls on their regular banner. You get 3 support move candy coins. And there is also a paid route, 7,500 paid gems gives you 1 copy as well as enough custom 5-star power-ups in order to make him 6-star EX. You just need to give him champion spirits. Meanwhile, all the others are Master Fair Scouts. That means you have a 12% chance of scouting a random 5-star and a measly 1% chance of scouting for the featured unit. But the first 5 multi-pulls will give you presents in the form of 5-star power-ups as well as candy coins. So don't miss these presents, especially if you need the items in order to, make your Sing Pair 6-star EX, or make your 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 units. Maybe you need that one candy coin to have 20 so you can exchange for a move candy. So that's that, guys. Master Fairs, very little chance, very high chance to get shafted. Sad to say. So if you want to scout for the Master Fairs, probably make sure you have enough gems. In fact, you can check out my how many gems can we get. I forgot to include the slide here. How many gems can we get for the month of March 2023, so that you will have an estimate of how you would save up and spend and whatsoever. And as of the moment, guys, I still do not see 3,000 gems. And maybe some of you were asking in the comment section or something, why did we not receive 3,000 gems for Pokemon Day? As of the moment, it's 3 PM, my time. Normally, we receive the 3,000 gems after the trailer or during the trailer of Pokemon Presents, or during Pokemon Presents. So I'm guessing we're getting the 3,000 gems there. If not, well, F us. We do not get the 3,000. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna give 3,000 gems later. That aside, let us begin, guys. So we begin off starting off with Marnie and Moltres. I have discussed a little bit of this in my 1 out of 5 or 3, 2, or none out of 5 video. I'm gonna mostly skip what I have discussed. Basically, this is a striker, an AoE striker. You have Fiery Wrath hits everyone, B Fiery Wrath hits everyone, and has a chance of making the opponent flinch. Fiery Wrath 20%, B Fiery Wrath 50%. And then all the, or rather, her body move ignores the opponent's passive skill. So this is basically piercing blows. A lot of Sing Pairs have piercing blows, ignores irritating passive skills of the opponent, especially legendary arena or legendary gauntlet. So this one is a good one. Protect basically protects you from the opponent's attacks or the sync move of the opponent. So make sure if you are not able to defeat the opponent before they use a sync move, use protect before the sync move so that you will resist, you will not faint. And then Triumphant Spirit maximizes your special attack, speeds up yourself by 4 stat ranks, and raises your evasiveness +2. It also gives you an endure effect, and you receive 10% recoil damage. Why recoil damage? Well, you want recoil damage, or you want at least to be damaged for Champion Marnie, because the moment you have less than 100% HP, she has a pretty OP passive skill called Mind Over Matter 4, which raises her special attack by 40%. See that special attack stat? It's 502. 140%, or rather 40% increase from 502 is 702.9 or something, 702 point something, basically rounding down 702. And 702 is unheard of in the world of Pokemon Masters. That is just a super insanely crazy high special attack stat. This is just level 140. This is just 5-star. If you make her 6-star EX, those numbers go even higher. It's just insanely strong with a special attack stat. So she also has Galar Spirit, which basically powers up everyone's special attack damage, as well as special defense for everyone. But it does not work for your sync moves. It also does not work for the opponent's sync moves. So only for the normal attacks of yourself and for the opponent. And the more Galar sync pairs you have in your team, the higher this power up and defensive boosts are. You have Sinister Aura, lowers your sync move countdown by 1 at the start of the battle and maximizes your critical hit rate at the start of the battle so that every single one of your attacks will be guaranteed a critical hit. Your sync move, if you have Soften Up 1, will be guaranteed a critical hit as well. But if you don't have a Soften Up 1, it will be 80%. And then you have Spike Moot Grit. When you are low on HP, around below 50%, was it? Let me just hide myself. If your HP drops below 50%, you recover 40% HP. And you give yourself special moves up next plus 3 stat ranks. That is a 120% increase in damage. That is just crazy. And don't forget, you have Endure status. You want to receive some damage and you only recover 40% HP. So you will have, like, if you are at 49% HP, you do not recover 50%. So you still have a little bit of damage for yourself, and Mind Over Matter will still work. So if you want to use Marnie, make sure your HP is below 100%. Although 100% HP Marnie is still very strong with a 502 special attack stat. But if you want the special attack stat to go much higher, you want her HP to be at least highest, at most rather, 99%. So, Sync Grid time. Sync Grid, 1 out of 5, you got Dauntless and Unflappable. Not really that important except for some occasions. At 2 out of 5, you get Evasive Sync up 5, which powers up your sync move by 30% if your evasiveness is raised. Now, if we look back, Triumphant Spirit raises your evasiveness plus 2. This is not the higher your evasiveness stat is, the stronger the damage. No, you just need to raise your evasiveness stat plus 1. So by using your trainer move, you are guaranteed to have your sync move powered up by 30% if you get this tile. Power Reserves 3, if you are low on health, that is 33%, or was it 30% health, you will have your attacks multiplied by 130% or 30% increase in damage. You have Protect Slippery 2. When you use Protect, you will have your evasiveness raised plus an additional 2. You have Speedy Entry 2. You have Triumphant Spirit MP Refresh so that you can give yourself Endure effect again, as well as maximize your speed stat, raise your evasiveness. So that's that, and you also receive another extra 10% damage. 3 out of 5, you get Adrenaline 1. After you use your sync move for the very first time, you get to lower your sync move countdown minus 1. Endure again is somewhat similar to Unyielding, but Unyielding 9. That works only once. Similar to like Ash, how Ash works. So once your Endure status goes away, you get to bring yourself an Endure status again. Now, I'm not sure if this works with MP Refresh Triumphant Spirit. So, you know, you give yourself an Endure status once you use Triumphant Spirit, and when Endure event or Endure again triggers, you bring back the Endure status, and then you use it up again. I'm not sure if you use Triumphant Spirit again, will Endure again work again or not? That I don't know. We have to test that out, guys. Fiery Wrath Aggravation 2. Now, Fiery Wrath has a 60% chance of making the opponent flinch from the 20% we saw earlier. Protect Super Preparation 9 basically gives you a super effective up next so that your dark type attacks and sync moves and buddy moves will become 150% stronger. Soften Up 1, as I said earlier, if you get this, your sync move is guaranteed to crit all opponents if you have her 6-star EX. Wounded Power 3, when your HP is below 100%, you get to raise your normal attacks by 30% damage Wounded Sync of 5, same thing, except powers up your sync move by 50%, and 2 sync nuked house. So, strong. Strong is all I can say. Helpful with Soften Up 1, probably very helpful with Fiery Wrath Aggravation 2, because remember, Fiery Wrath is an AoE attack, hits everyone. So maybe by using Fiery Wrath Aggravation 2, everyone will flinch. And yeah, strong. Lots of multipliers, as you can see over here. Evasive Sync of 3, Wounded Sync of 5, and what else? Super Effective up next. Those are easy to trigger multipliers. Evasive Sync of 3 and Wounded Sync of 5 triggers with 1 trainer move instantly. Super Preparation 9, I did not check if you can all get all these tiles in the grid, but just getting evasiveness or Evasive Sync of 3 and Wounded Power 5 or Wounded Sync of 5 is just strong already with the Mind Over Matters thing, and he's a master pair. That's the first sync pair that we are discussing. Let's move on to the second one with Hop and Zapdos. So this one is a tech sync pair this time, and if you see his HP stat, it's low, 582, but his defense stats are, I guess, a little bit higher than your typical tech units, which are at 170, 80 something. This one is at 202. And with his passive, Master Passive Galar Pride, you get to receive lower physical attack damage from the opponent as well. So technically your defenses are a little bit higher than that. You have, I forgot to remove Protect again, I am so sorry. Let me just remove that while we are here. So you have Thunderous Keck, as I call this in my other video, and you have B Thunderous Keck. So what this does is every single time you use Thunderous Keck, you get to lower the opponent's special, or you get to lower the opponent's defense stat. And when you use, or when you lower the opponent's defense stat, you have a passive skill, Post-Week Perseverance, which every single time you lower the defense stat, you also lower the opponent's special defense by the same amount. And his buddy move is Be Thunderous Kick, which lowers the opponent's defense stat by 3 stat ranks. Now, I think I forgot to mention this about Marnie over here. So let me quickly go back to Marnie. So the way you activate her buddy move is that every single time you use your sync move, anyone, as far as I can understand this, anyone uses a sync move, you get to unlock your buddy move, and the moment you use it, it locks again, and then you have to use a sync move again with anyone, and then it unlocks again, and then you use it, and then it locks again. For Hop, you have to lower your sync move countdown -6, then you use it, then it goes locked, then you have to lower your sync move countdown -6. Not necessarily your number starts at 9. You lower it to 1, 2, 3. That's 6. No, it does not work that way. I think it's 9. Then you have to use it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's gonna be a little countdown over there with Hop's buddy move, and then you can use your sync move, or you can use your buddy move. If it remains at 3, it's locked. You have to lower it 1, 2, 3. Then you use your sync move. Then it resets again, I think at 9 or 8, then tak tak tak, something like that. That is how you use his buddy move. Every single time it's locked, you have to lower the opponent's, or you have to lower your sync move countdown -6 every time. Then you use your buddy move, then lower your sync move countdown -6 again. So same thing as Marnie, you have Piercing Blows. It ignores the opponent's passive skill so that you land full damage. And then it also ignores the target's enduring effects, same as Piercing Blows. It also lowers the opponent's speed -3. So by using 3 Thunderous Kecks and 1 B Thunderous Keck, you get to lower your opponent's defense stat to minimum. The good thing about B Thunderous Keck is that it is 0 move gauge. The normal attacks are 4 move gauge. Same for Marnie. Her freezing, what was it? Her Fiery Wrath is 4 move gauges. This one is also a 4 move gauge attack, which is pretty expensive on the grid, although his speed stat is not that bad. Yes, Dire Hit All Plus so that you can raise everyone's critical hit rate if you need to. And then Triumphant Research is the best thing about him, which basically brings in Fighting Zone anytime you want. Also raises your speed stat +3 and lowers your own special defense -1. And then for his sync move, the lower the opponent's defense is, the stronger the damage. This is basically built-in Relentless. As for his passive skills, you got Galar Pride, we have discussed this earlier. Lightning Legs lowers your sync move countdown -1, same for Marnie. And then it raises your attack stat by 6 at the first or at the start of the battle. So you start off with maximum attack stat, which is pretty cool. You just need to raise your critical hit rate once you use him. Down for freebie 9, this basically is when you lower your stat, any stat, or when the opponent lowers your stats, you get a free move next. Triumphant Research, you bring in Fighting Zone, you raise your speed stat +3, and you lower your special defense -1. The moment you lower it down, you get a free move next. So, you can use Triumphant Research, then follow it up quickly with a Thunder, or rather, with a Thunderous Keck. And that's how you use him. Alright. Singrid. 1 out of 5, you got Flameproof and Unflappable. 2 out of 5, you get Adrenaline 1. You got Brawling Acceleration, 2 speeds up the move gauge with Fighting Zone. Brawling Healing recovers HP in Fighting Zone. Dire Hit All MP Refresh. Ready for a Brawl. Reduces the damage you receive when the field is Fighting Zone. Sharp Entry 1 at the start of the battle. You got a critical hit rate +1. Sing Freebie, after you use your Sing move any amount of time using Hop, you get a free move next. And Train Mind 9, whenever your special defense is lowered, you do not exactly feel great effects of super low special defense. It basically limits the deduction of your special defense indirectly. Something like that, guys. 3 out of 5 is where you get all the multipliers for Champion Hop. You got Brain Teaser. The lower the opponent's special defense is, the stronger your attacks are. Again, this is you lower the opponent's defense, the opponent's special defense gets lowered because of post-week perseverance. Brawling Opening Sync, at the start of the battle, you bring in Fighting Zone, which is gonna power up all your fighting type attacks and all your sync moves, fighting type sync moves. Chase Down 3, if the opponent's speed is lowered, you get to power up your attacks by 30%. How do you lower the opponent's speed? Thunderous Keck, -3 stat ranks. Dire Hit All Plus Catalytic Kick 9 speeds up the move gauge when you use Dire Hit All Plus. Inertia, the higher speed stat is, the stronger the damage. You can speed up your, you can raise your speed stat +3 by using his trainer move, Triumphant Research. And then you got Smarty Pants. The lower the opponent's special defense is, the stronger the damage. Again, you can lower the opponent's special defense by lowering their defense stat using Thunderous Kick or Thunderous Keck. Slowpoke Sync 5. If the opponent's speed stat is lowered, you get to power up your sync move by 50%. Does not have to be -5, -6 speed stat. You only need to lower the opponent's speed stat -1, and then this will trigger immediately. You got a Triumphant Research MP Refresh 2 if you want to bring in an extra Fighting Zone, and that is that 2 sync move tiles. So the best thing about Hop is bringing in Fighting Zone on demand, anytime you want. This is the advantage Hop has over Aura Cynthia. Aura Cynthia, you have to time your sync move properly so that you will be able, you know, every single time you use your sync move using Aura Cynthia, you bring in Fighting Zone. But a lot of people complain that you cannot. It's very hard. It's possible, but it's very hard to extend that Fighting Zone to your next sync move. So Aura Cynthia's sync moves, does her sync move, you get Fighting Zone, and you know, you exchange turns with the opponent, by the time you are able to use your sync move, the fighting zone is over or almost over. It's very hard to bring it to extend it to your next sync move. But for Hop or Champion Hop, you can just call in your pass or your trainer move and have fighting zone anytime you want. So that's the good thing about him. Next, Bede and Zapdos. Hi, I did not edit this again. You know what? Let me pause this. Bede and Articuno, the support sync pair out of the trio. So this one, high HP stat, high defense, high special defense, and then you got Freezing Glare and B Freezing Glare, but this time you have another attack, Confusion. So his speed stat is pretty low, 244. Freezing Glare is a 4 move gauge attack. What happens if I run out of move gauge? You have Confusion, 1 move gauge attack can leave the opponent confused. B Freezing Glare, when it triggers earlier with Marnie, you have to use a sync move. For Hop, you have to lower your sync move countdown -6. For Bede, you have to lower your sync move countdown -3. And then you will be able to use B Freezing Glare, and then you lower your sync move countdown -3 again. You can use B Freezing Glare, but B Freezing Glare has 1 MP only. So the others, you can use this unlimited number of times, but for Bede, you can only use this 1 time until you use your sync move for anyone in your team, because of Balonlea teachings restores 1 MP of every single one of his moves when you use your sync move. When your team uses your sync move, so you have Triumphant Tenacity as a trainer move. This also recovers 1 MP. Also recovers 1 MP for your B Freezing Glare. And again, B Freezing Glare, what this does is that it will have a 10% chance of freezing the opponent, and it raises everyone's defense and special defense +1. Also gives you a free move next effect for every one of your sync pairs. So this is good for move gauge management. You know, there are more and more 4 move gauge users right now, especially in the team. In this trio, you have Hop, Thunderskek, you have Fiery Wrath for Marnie, you have Freezing Glare for Bede, and those are all 4 move gauge attacks. This one, by using B Freezing Glare, everyone will have a free move next, which is pretty helpful in this occasion. But then you only raise your defense and special defense +1 only. Well, until you get to 3 out of 5, which we will discuss later. But then, you know, at least you can raise your defense stats, because he is not just a physical or a defender, a defensive support. He is mostly an offensive support. By using Triumphant Tenacity, his trainer move, this raises everyone's attack, special attack, and crit +2. So that means you need to use 3 of this, maximize everyone's attack stat, special attack stat, and critical hit rate. What this does also, it gives everyone a physical moves up next effect and a special moves up next effect. Physical moves up next effect applies for physical attacks, special moves applies for special moves, and powers this up by 40%. This does not work for sync moves again, but 40% increase, and you can stack this up if you do not use this. You know, if you have a sync pair that has both a physical attack and a special attack, you can just choose one or the other, focus on that one, and maybe once you stack high enough, boom, strong damage to the opponent. You have a sync move that has no additional effect, but you have your passive skills. Galar Flag Bearer powers up everyone, not just your physical attacks or special attacks, but both. Also powers up your defenses, physical and special attacks of the opponent. Conniving Wings lowers your sync move countdown -1 at the start of the battle, raises everyone's speed stat. Let me just quickly check if it's everyone. Raises everyone's speed stat +2. Now remember Hop earlier with Inertia? This helps speed up Hop as well, and helps speed up your sync pairs, because, you know, 4 move gauge attack, is pretty expensive if you have a very low speed stat. So, Balandea teachings again, whenever you use a sync move, you get to recover 1 MP for Bede. And then you have Vigilance, protects you from critical hits. That means you have space to give him another lucky skill. Oftentimes, we give Vigilance as a lucky skill to the support sync pairs. He has built-in Vigilance, so what can you give him? Status Immunity? Probably Interference Immunity, probably Healthy Healing, probably Mind Games 4 to lower the opponent's special defense, probably Defense Crush. I mean, Mind Games 2 rather, not Mind Games 4, but if next time DNA is gonna put Mind Games 4, why not? And many other, lucky skills that you can open up and give to Bede because he already has Vigilance built in. Now, here's the problem. His trainer move, Triumphant Tenacity, is expensive as hell. Never have I seen a sync pair that requires 4 move gauges in order to raise your trainer move or in order to use your trainer move. I've seen 3. I think Brendan is a 3 move gauge trainer move to maximize all his stats. There are other sync pairs that require move gauge, but this one requires 4 move gauges. It's so expensive. But if you have him paired up with Marnie and Hop, remember that their passive skills lower their sync move countdown -1. This also lowers your sync move countdown -1 for Conniving Wings. That means Marnie, Hop, and Bede lower your sync move countdown at the start of the battle -3 immediately. And by lowering your sync move countdown -3, you will be able to use your buddy move. It's gonna be unlocked immediately, and you can have a free move next effect because that is the benefit plus defense stat increases for everyone. So that is how you kind of use Bede and Articuno. And now we move on to the sync grid. 1 out of 5 you get Anti-Freeze and Unflappable. 2 out of 5 you get Confusion Aggravation 9 and a move gauge refresh 9 for Confusion, so that every single time you use Confusion, you basically do not use any move gauges. Freezing Glare, Charging Confusion 9. If the opponent is confused, you recover 2 move gauges every time you use Freezing Glare, which is also very helpful because his speed stat is low. But how do we, how do we confuse the opponent? You might want to give Hostile Environment 2. It raises the chance of, this is for freeze rather. You want to give, Aggravation 9. 2 out of 5 for Confusion, so that every single time you use Confusion, the opponent will get confused immediately. But remember, Confusion is not like Paralysis, Poison, or Burn, which is permanent unless the opponent uses Full Heal or anything like that. Confusion is temporary, but it stays long enough compared to Flinching, compared to Trap. Confusion, I think, stays longer than Trap or probably equal. So, every single time you attack the opponent using Freezing Glare when the opponent is confused, you get to charge your move gauge -2. Hostile Environment 2 raises the chances of freezing the opponent when you use Freezing Glare and Big Freezing Glare. Natural Remedy, Post Haste 3, Quick Cure. Post Haste 3, 40% chance of raising your speed stat by 2 when you are hit by an attack move. That is pretty helpful for his speed stat. 3 out of 5, Adrenaline 1 lowers your sync move countdown -1 after you use your sync move. You got B Freezing Glare, Barricade Buddies 1, and Shielded 1. This one is helpful. Remember earlier I said that, his B Freezing Glare only raises defense and special defense +1. By doing this, you get to raise your defense and special defense +2 instead. That means you only need to use B Freezing Glare 3 times in order to maximize everyone's defense and special defense compared to using it 6 times. Much better. Curative Confusion, if the opponent is confused, you use an attack against the opponent, you get to restore a little bit of HP. And 3 freebie, free move next at the start of the battle. Also very helpful with using your trainer move because it's very expensive. Recuperation 2, when you use your sync move every single time, you get to restore 40% HP. I'm just sad that this is not Synchro Healing 2. Because Synchro Healing 2 will be much better than just recovering on your own. Team First Super Sync. Everyone will get a super effective up next after you use your sync move for the very first time for him. Team Sharp Entry 1, at the start of the battle, everyone gets a critical hit rate +1, and then you have 2 sync nuketiles for him. So he's a very tanky support sync pair. High defense stat, high special defense stat. Can get to recover HP by using Confusion on the opponent or by using B Freezing Glare because of Curative Confusion 1 as long as the opponent is confused. And yeah, basically a sync pair that can buff every single stat, including speed, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just quickly check again. Yes, you can also raise your speed stat because of Conniving Wings. So, a sync pair that can raise every single stat. Can he raise critical hit rates? Yes, you can. He can raise every single stat, guys. So that's good. That's good, but it's slow if you have him only at 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5. It gets faster with B Freezing Glare if you have Barricade Buddies 1 and Shielded 1. So that's that. Once he gets to 3 out of 5, very, very nice sync pair. And now we move on to the last one, which is Ball Guy and the Sus Pokemon. And this one is a unique one in the sense that it's gimmicky. Gimmicky in the sense that if you use Clear Smog, it lowers the opponent's raise stats to normal. And this is a 2 MP attack. If you use this twice, it will be gone. You have Move Gauge Boost, you have On the Ball 1, which triggers random stat effects and recovers 10% HP and clears every sync pair of any status conditions, which is very helpful in some occasions and raises everyone's critical hit rate. Now, you have Underhanded Refresh 9. When the opponent is affected by a status condition, and you attack an opponent, you get to recover 1 move gauge or 1 MP for every single one of his moves and trainer moves. So you can use Clear Smog again, you can use Move Gauge Boost again, you can use On the Ball again, and On the Ball can recover your HP, can remove status conditions, can achieve or activate random status condition, can raise everyone's critical hit rate. And then whenever you get hit, you got Team Hit Me Up 9, which raises a random stat of all allied sync pairs +1. And then how do you inflict a status condition, as we were talking about in Underhanded Refresh? Destructive Touch 9, when the opponent attacks you, you get to inflict the opponent with either Poison, Paralysis, or Sleep. Sleep is the best one, well, in most occasions. Because when the opponent is asleep, they cannot do anything except use a trainer move. And, you know, if they use an attack and they fall asleep, you know, they have to waste 1 turn or something like that. But sleep is not a permanent status condition. If you want a permanent one, you have Poison and Paralysis. So there are benefits to getting that and that. So he is a pretty unique and sus one. And what I love about him is at 1 out of 5, he gets one of the best things about him. And that is On the Ball Team Randomizers Raise 9. When you use On the Ball, you get to raise, aside from activating random effects, you get to raise 1 random stat for Ball Guy as well as your teammates, either attack, defense, special attack, special defense, or speed. And then again, On the Ball is only 1 MP, so you have to affect the opponent with a status condition and then attack it, and then underhanded refresh 9 will bring back on the ball, and you use on the ball again, raise a random stat of your team. Again, aside from critical hit rate, which is built in him. You got 2 out of 5, clear smog, acumen 9, raises your own special defense +1. Clear smog, stoic 9, raises your defense stat +1. So if you want him as your tanker, he will be able to survive better. Got move gauge, move MP, refresh 3, and on the ball propulsion 1. Oh, now that I think about this is pretty good. Because you want to use on the ball often. Use on the ball, recover health for yourself. Use on the ball to raise your teammates' stats. You use on the ball to raise everyone's critical hit rate stat. And if you get on the ball propulsion 1, you get to lower your sync move cooldown pretty fast. Imagine attacking opponent and attacking the opponent, and use on the ball, attacking an opponent, use on the ball, attacking an opponent, use on the ball. Get to lower your sync move countdown pretty quickly. This reminds me of a lot of sync pairs. Actually, something like this. Sickness with Ethan, 50% chance to lower your sync move countdown using his trainer move. And you want to attack the opponent, then use your trainer move, attack the opponent, use trainer move. Lucas, similar, but you do not lower your sync move countdown. Use a trainer move, you get a free move next, use an attack, use a trainer move, free move next, use an attack. This is something similar, but you get to lower your sync move countdown instead. 3 out of 5 absorb toxic chance for, well, if you want to ignore destructive touch 9, use absorb, have a 50% chance of poisoning the opponent. Impervious stats cannot be lowered. Interference immunity prevents you from pinching, trap, confusion. Move gauge boost, move gauge refresh 9. You'll recover like, how many move gauges do you recover with move gauge boost? You recover 4 move gauges instead of 3 move gauges. And then on the ball master healer 1, instead of recovering 10% HP, you recover 20% HP instead using on the ball, which you will probably use often. And team hit me up 9. Again, built in already, there's 1, and another team hit me up 9. Whenever you get hit, you get to raise random stat for every one of your sync pairs. You got vigilance as well for him, which opens him up to other lucky skill possibilities for ball guy. So, very nice sync pair. If you have him 2 out of 5, get to lower your sync move countdown very quickly. If you have him 1 out of 5, that is good enough. That on the ball team randomizers raise 9 is very good. And then if you have him 3 out of 5, I'm not sure, maybe this is already overkill. This is just good. With Master Healer 1, just recovers more HP, guarantees that you will not faint. Absorb Toxic Chance 4 is a confusing one for me. And Team Hit Me Up 9 double might be actually very good. So, that is all for these 4 sync pairs. I'm talking non-stop. I have a little clogged nose and it's really hard to talk. So do me a favor, guys. If you haven't done so, hit the thumbs up right now. It's really hard for me to talk. And I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're learning something. And let me know in the comment section right now if you are interested in scouting for any of these sync pairs after that discussion. But we're not yet done. Now we look at their stats very quickly. And if you can see over here, the highest HP is actually Champion Bede because he's a support sync pair with the highest defense and special defense as well. Marnie has the highest special attack stat. I combined this attack and special attack because each one of these sync pairs only uses either attack or special attack stat. Marnie uses special attack, Hop uses physical attack, Champion Bede uses special attack, Ball Guy uses special attack. And then defense and special defense, our striker has the lowest. Hop has the highest speed stat but the lowest HP stat. And Ball Guy has the lowest speed stat and the lowest attack, or rather special attack stat out of the bunch. Now what did we say about Marnie? Lower her HP less than 100% and her attack or her special attack stat goes up. Goes up by 40%. From 502, it goes up to 702. And if you compare everyone, there's no comparison whatsoever. This is just insanely strong. Again, if you have her 6-star EX or if you have her level 150, the increase will be even greater. So crazy, crazy, crazy sync pair. Now let us look at their multipliers. Ball Guy does not have any multipliers, unfortunately for him, but he has his quirk, he has his gimmick. So when I talk about Ball Guy, I hope you guys were interested in Ball Guy. Champion Bede is this other support. He can give everyone a super effective up next by using your sync move for the very first time. And then you can give everyone a physical moves up next effect and a special moves up next effect by using your trainer move. Again, very expensive 4 move gauges, but you can use this quite an unlimited number of times just by bringing in, or by every single time you use a sync move, you get to bring back 1 MP for his trainer move. You also have Galar Flag Bearer, which is his master passive skill. Champion Hop is the tech sync pair. He gets Brain Teaser, Chase Downs 3, and all the multipliers that are in his grid at 3 copies. 3 copies of him, but with 1 copy, you get Fighting Zone on demand. You can use Fighting Zone any single time just by using his trainer move. You got Galar Pride, powers up the physical attacks and physical defenses of your sync pairs. And then the lower the opponent's defense stat is, you can bring this by using your Thunderous Kek or Be Thunderous Kek. And then Fighting Zone also powers up your sync move as well as your buddy move for this one. Party Pants and Brain Teaser, the lower the opponent's special defense. You can trigger this just by lowering the opponent's defense stat. Champion Marnie is the striker. You got Be Fiery Wrath, Power Reserves 2. This is built in. It doesn't say Power Reserves 2. But when your HP is in a pinch, when you are in a pinch, your Be Fiery Wrath gets powered up by 20%. That's an 120% damage. So your Be Fiery Wrath gets stronger. You have a Galar Spirit, powers up everyone's special attacks. You got Mind Over Matter 4, which is less than 100 HP, powers up your special attack by 40%. Power Reserves 3, again low HP, stronger damage. Super effective up next. You can do this by... Let me try to recall. I forgot. Super effective up next. Let me quickly go back and try to recall. Super effective up next. Oh, by using Protect. Okay, that's us. So by using Protect, you can give yourself a super effective up next for Marnie. Now, let me just fix the slides. Okay. And then Wounded Powers 3, as well as Wounded Sync up 5. Lower your HP less than 100, they will trigger. Evasive Sync up, raise your evasiveness stat plus 1, that will trigger. Again, you can raise your evasiveness stat immediately. You can give yourself the Wounded Sync up and Wounded Power immediately, as well as Mind Over Matter 4 just by using your trainer move once. Now, since I'm doing Do Not Scalp videos and I do not really talk about the numbers that much, and you know, in all honesty, it's much easier and much more fun to do those videos as well. So I figured that I might as well do the numbers for you guys here in this video right now. So this one will translate to these numbers. Now, some changes from my numbers. Before, we used to have everyone with super effective up next, with weather conditions, with zones whatsoever, maximum damage. This one, I remove every single thing that they cannot give themselves. For Champion Marnie, she cannot give herself Dark Zone. So without Dark Zone, get those amounts of damage. Champion Hop cannot give himself super effective up next, if I'm not mistaken. So those are the damage. Champion Bede cannot give himself Psychic Terrain, so those are the damage. And Ball Guy cannot give himself Grassy Terrain / Poison Zone, so those are the damage. And you can see over here, Champion Marnie has the highest max damage or DPS or whatsoever you want to call this. This is for B Fiery Wrath. 7,426,566. For Champion Hop, very, very strong Sync Nuker with Fighting Zone and with all the multipliers. He can give himself active. That's a 20,594 something. Bede is in the low side, but not as low as Ball Guy, who has these low damage, but can use either grass type or poison type attacks. So I guess, you know, you can also reduce or remove all the buffs of the opponent. So that's that, guys. That is a little analysis. How do I rank these Sync pairs? 3 out of 5. Earlier we were talking about one copy in my other video, and my ranking was Marnie, Hop, Ball Guy, then Bede, or Bede then Ball Guy, but it's a little bit confusing over there. 3 copy. How do I rank these? Well, depends who you need actually, because Fighting Zone is actually a good one. We have a lot of dark types. In fact, if you have Signusuit Cyrus, you do not need any dark type. He is just OP as heck and you do not need anyone else. With every Sync pair that's in the game, I think the strongest Sync pair, excluding Wide Awake passive skill, you know, if the opponent has Wide Awake, then remove this. But I think Signusuit Cyrus is the most OP Sync pair in the game, because the opponents are helpless, completely helpless in the face of Dark Void. So the battle will be long. You can just keep using Dark Void, Dark Void, Dark Void. You do not even need to target which opponent. Everyone will just fall asleep. Everyone will just receive damage. And that's why Signusuit Cyrus is much better than Thunderbolt Red, much better than Ash, much better than anyone. Much better than Signusuit Lyra. They cannot do anything with Dark Void. No damage whatsoever. Signusuit Lyra, you only target one opponent and then your move gauge is pretty slow. That's the problem with Signusuit Lyra. But very crazy Sync pair as well. Thunderbolt Red, you are expected to receive damage, but your damage to the opponent is just strong. Your recovery is very good. But Cyrus, Signusuit Cyrus, you do not receive damage at all. So, if you have Signusuit Cyrus, do not need Champion Marnie. Yes, very attractive with the special attack and stuff, but you do not need Champion Marnie. So depending if you have Signusuit Cyrus or not, I would recommend you to get Hop instead. Even if you have Aura Cynthia, because Aura Cynthia is a support. You are not exactly expected to damage the opponent with Aura Cynthia. Yes, she can finish stages, but Hop is just the better Sync pair to use against the opponent if you want fighting types. And there are not a lot of great fighting types. You have Wally a little bit powered up after that. You have, for Lucario, who's getting attacked all the time, you have Bede, who has a 4 move gauge, pretty slow, and you have to buff her up slowly. Hop, you can immediately, very easily buff him up. So, depending on whether you have Signusuit Cyrus or not, Hop is my top choice for you guys. For myself at least, Hop is number 1, followed by Champion Marnie number 2. Because, you know, one cannot have enough dark types anyway. And let's be honest, she is very tempting. She is very, very tempting. That AoE flinch is very tempting as well. Bede is my number 3, but only if you have him 3 out of 5 because of the massive upgrade for B piercing what? B something. Be his trainer move, his buddy move that Bee Freezing Glare, sorry, Bee Freezing Glare is much better with the buffs. If you can raise 2 stat ranks of defense and special defense, it's just much better than 1. It just cuts down the time. And Ball Guy is my number 3 or number 4, the last one, just because of how gimmicky he is. Pretty attractive, but I do not want to support DNA's variety scouts. You know, it's just sus. And if DNA decides to move on forward, just giving us variety scouts rather than spotlight scouts, then for me, who spends money on this game and who has all the sync pairs, it's okay. But for you guys, it's not. So I do not support DNA's variety scouts. So he's my last pick out of the bunch. And with that, I end by saying this as always. To ignore everything I said since the very beginning and just follow your hearts. Because faves over meta. And we, again, as I said, this is only the update, the anniversary update is not yet complete because we still do not have Pokemon Masters Day image. I think that image is very important. Or maybe not. Who knows? But we might have another update. Second half, we might have more sync pairs. Again, you have to decide whether or not you want to scout for these sync pairs. If you want to know how many gems we get, check this out. We have enough for 1, but not enough for more than 1 if you get shafted. Unless you have enough gems saved up. So, that's it. That is the end of my 3.5-year anniversary Who to Scout for video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and the comment. That is very important. Let me know your comments. I read them. I like reading them. I am not able to reply to all, but I leave a heart and a thumbs up if I read your comment. And if I haven't yet, be patient. It's getting there. I'm gonna read, give it a thumbs up, give it a heart, and if I feel obliged to, I will reply to your comment immediately once I see it. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know who you are scouting for. And with that, thank you for watching this video. Again, a huge shout out. If you want to support me financially, you can become a member of my channel by clicking on the join button, or there are links to my Patreon and Ko-fi page in the description of this video. Thank you so much to my gifters out there. Again, quick advertisement of this video if you just want 1 copy. Again, thank you to my gifters. Thank you Ewiz, Roy, Shadowphil, and Jeremy for the extra generosity. Again, be active and maybe you'll be gifted with a membership. And thank you everyone for all the support in my channel. Thank you Shadowphil for 2-year Master Ball tier from the very beginning. Thank you so much. Thank you Ultra Ball tier Marokman. Thank you Great Ball tier Aurora Espion and Yuki Murasaki. Thank you Premier Ball tier members Shido Vods and Arda Poem. Thank you Pokeball tier members. 2-year Alcin, 2-year Roy, 2-year Luca, 1-year Jeremy, 1-year Sasori, 1-year Marcella, 1-year Kosei, 1-year Iwi. Speaking of Marcella, it's been so long. I haven't seen you. I hope you show up soon. As well as my other members, Tatsuya Gold, Apsaras, Kundan, and Pokefriendos. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dance videos coming soon. I just need to find a little bit of time to edit those videos. With that said, this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt. The artist Team Skull Grunt. I will see you in the next video. And in Pokemon Presents. Happy Pokemon Masters Day tomorrow. Happy Pokemon Day today. Rah!